Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the score was 120-109. The Lakers get the victory against the Minnesota Timberwolves in very, very, very interesting fashion. It was a lot of interesting sequences. Nothing too terrible, but just so much to take in. Anthony Davis' stat line has never been done before, man. First player in NBA history with 27 points, 25 rebounds, 7 steals, 5 assists, 3 blocks. Never been done before. Never been, no 27, 25, 7, 5, and 3. You ain't never seen nothing like that. It's never been done before. Uh, Quite unbelievable, really. He had 4 steals in the first quarter, and he just started gobbling up boards down the stretch of the basketball game. Like, he really started, like, around the 9-minute mark of the fourth quarter. He was just swallowing boards, and we went on a massive run in that process. He had 10 offensive rebounds in this basketball game as well. Just cleaning up the glass, man. Rudy didn't play. Of course, Carl is out for a while, so it was just Nas and Luka Garza down there, and he was able to capitalize on that in a major way. Braun also played a ferocious basketball game with 29 points. I think 9 assists, 8 rebounds, almost a triple double. I think that's how that went. Um, Man, Austin Reeves, I believe, walked away with 19 points, shot pretty well, had some nice highlights down there, some bad turnovers, but nothing, not a bad game. His three ball is back, and that's what really stands out. He's back to shooting three like he did last season and the year before that, after having a long season of a lackluster shooting year for him. He's rounding into form. He looks like himself in that way. We just need him to shore up those turnovers, but everything else looks great out there with Austin. I thought he was fantastic. Torian Prince had a really good game, man. For what we expect from Torian, he didn't really hit the three like we normally usually see him do, but in other areas, deflections, he had a block shot, a couple good assist plays, a couple drives to the basket on some tough layups. I was very pleased with what I saw from his minutes. Jackson Hayes was 4-4 from the field, 9 points, 5 assists, if I'm not mistaken. Rui Hachimura had 15 points in limited minutes. He only was out there for 24 minutes, and I complained a little bit about some of the stuff that frustrated me about him, but ultimately he shot pretty well in limited minutes, and I didn't blame coach for not putting him back in the second half. We were kind of rolling with the lineup that we had out there in Braun, AD, D'Lo, Austin, and Torian. It was working. Um, D'Lo had a really nice game. His plus minus was fantastic. Quiet shooting night, but did get some assists off. Definitely helped the team a lot with what he brought to the table. I think like 13 points. I don't remember how many assists, but it was quiet but efficient and a really good plus minus. That was really the gist of our production. Didn't go too much further than that. Max Christie came in a little bit, made some bad passes. His passing is so bad, man. I tell you, he does really need to work on that in the offseason. It's not even that he's not a willing passer. He even makes good reads. He just throws the worst, most inaccurate passes anyone could ever throw. He's the worst passer I've ever seen, man. It's just he's just one of those people who just be way off when it comes to that aspect of his game and his accuracy. But he reads the floor pretty well. We just need to put him through serious passing drills, man. Um, and so that's what I see there. And turnovers were awful tonight. With that being said, 20 turnovers on the night to the Minnesota Timberwolves 10. I'm pretty damn certain more than half of them were unforced. We just couldn't take care of the basketball, man, for nothing. And we turned the ball over in so many different ways. It was rather frustrating, to say the least. Um, Ant-Man had a good second half after having a quiet, bad shooting first half. Walked out of there, I think, with like over 25 points, 2 rebounds. 2 steals, 2 blocks. He really filled up the box score. I don't remember what he had in assists and rebounds, but Nas Reed shot the ball very well, particularly in the first half from behind the arc. I think he walked out of there, I believe, with like five threes, 4 blocks or something like that. Over 25 points. So you got to give credit to him. McLaughlin shot the ball well from behind the arc, and I know that for a fact because I was screaming every time he shot it for us to close out on him better because we're playing off of him like he can't shoot, which is stupid. Because he usually shoots very well against us when we leave him open, and tonight was no exception. All of his threes were wide open. We really overhelped tonight. As we're prone to doing, I would love for us to shore that up in the playoffs because Anthony Davis really doesn't need a whole lot of help from his from others. He doesn't. He needs you to close out on those 3-point shooters and play them tight, while he does a one-on-one with whatever it is you put in front of him. That's really what it is, man. I think we overhelp Anthony Davis. It's almost like we forget he's one of the best defensive players to ever play the game, and help him out like he's Austin Reeves or D'Lo or something. He don't need that type of help, man. Let him play one-on-one with anybody he's in front of, and play the shooters. Play the shooters tight. That's what I want us to do. Trust Anthony Davis more as a system, because there's so much of that overhelping crap, and it's been talked about a lot on this platform and others. But we don't need to be helping him like that, man. And we just, every time we do so, we end up leaving the shooters open. The player ends up finding the shooter, because they don't want to go one-on-one with Anthony Davis. That's what we need to understand. Nobody actually wants to be guarded by this man. So if you're going to leave open shooters, they're going to find him so that they don't have to go one-on-one with Anthony. Chances are he's going to steal it. He's going to block it. It's a lot of things that can go wrong when Anthony Davis is playing one-on-one with somebody. So we need to trust that and let him do that. Let him defend Naz Reid. Let him defend Wemby. Let him defend whoever. He don't need you coming out of the corner off of a 3-point shooter just to come in and basically foul. He don't need you to do that. Stay your butt over there in that corner with the shooter and take away that option for the player that he's ultimately in front of. That is literally all I want us to do, is trust Anthony Davis more as a system. Because I think we do that systematically. Like, okay, we got to help off Davis. Davis is down there. Okay, we got to help. No, you don't, coach. Stop asking your players to do that crap. It leaves shooters open each and every time, fam. And if we do that crap in the playoffs, it'll be our undoing. It really will. Let the best defensive player be the best defensive player, period. So that's what I got to say about that. McLaughlin was a prime example of why our system in that regard, our philosophy in that regard, is garbage. Straight up. But besides that, I think we played a great, I ain't going to say a great game. I don't think we played a great game. But I think we had some fun sequences. I think Anthony Davis played a great game. I think LeBron James played a great game. And we were able to capitalize off of that. LeBron's 3-ball is falling pretty well, so we're definitely benefiting from that. Austin returning back to the 3 form was great. That's really what it is, man. We just ultimately were able to overcome our horrible turnover issues with Anthony Davis killing it on the offensive glass, giving us second chance points. How many games have we lost giving up second chance opportunities? Not giving ourselves second chance opportunities, rather. It's many where we talked about how we should have played the glass a little better to give ourselves more second chance points. And you see, we benefited from that a great deal in this game. Because if we would have been playing offensive rebounds like we normally do, which is basically not getting them at all and rushing back the other way to get back, we wouldn't have won this game. You needed those offensive rebounds or second chance points. You needed those. And so that's why I would appreciate how we played the glass tonight. We were a plus 16 on the glass tonight against this shorthanded Minnesota team. And I think we benefited greatly from Rudy obviously not being out there. I think that's really what it comes down to. Anthony was able to just eat glass all night long, hitting his chippies and ones and things of that nature, hitting free throws. And then, like I said, the defensive side of the ball was stellar. It was a masterclass from him on the boards and on the defense. And so these are the type of stats Anthony Davis could put up. And then you look at the Sacramento game, you're like, bro, if you would have gave us this against Sac, we won. If you do this against Jokic, we win. So I don't know what it takes to turn this version of him on, but we gotta figure it out, because it's great to see him do this against Minnesota. But if he can't do it against them Serbian centers, we still got some losses ahead of us. That's the God's honest truth. But on a night like tonight, we're able to see exactly what this man can bring to the table. A1 greatest player type stats. Stuff that no one else has ever done. Not Wilt, not Kobe, not Shaq. None of these people ever done nothing like this. Bron, they never did nothing like this. Michael Jordan, none of these people ever did what he just did right now. Nobody. In a league of his own, in a class of his own. And that is why he's getting the game ball tonight with this one. I mean, the stat line is ridiculous. It's championship week for a lot of people playing fantasy basketball, including myself in a couple areas of a couple of my teams. And I am going against him in one of those leagues, and I dread it. I dread it because I know I lost. I was winning before the game started. I had Bron and AD. The other guy had Anthony Davis. And I know I lost. It's that real. Because that's exactly the type of game Anthony just put up. So, you got to give credit where credit's due, man. Anthony Davis balled all the way out. And Rudy Gobert gonna wish he played. It was a bad couple of hours for Rudy Gobert, man. He did the little referee got paid, rub your fingers together sign. They hit him with $100,000 fine. He got some type of injury issue with his knee or whatever, and then Anthony Davis proceeded to do this in his absence to his team, and their team is falling. They are not in the first seed. I don't even think they're the second seed no more. I think we just scooted Denver up after this victory right here. And Minnesota may be in the third spot at this point. So that's something to think about, man. Minnesota's slipping. They've lost 3 of their last 6 games, or 4 of their last 6 games. I think that's how that goes. They've been slipping at the absolute wrong time. Happy to do it to them. So that's really what it is, man. And we got another one to win against this Minnesota team coming up. I don't know how soon that game is, but it's coming. So we were able to get a victory in this season series. They won the first 2. And I'm glad our stars played, man. We weren't sure Braun was going to give it a go. We weren't sure AD was going to give it a go. But they were able to not only show up, but play one of their best games of the season. And we benefited greatly from that. So definitely thankful those guys tried and succeeded. And that's what it is, man. Just a great night of basketball. The pace was fantastic. Stars were aligned. Everybody, pretty much put on a fantastic, entertaining effort. Austin gave us highlights. AD gave us once-in-a-lifetime stats. Braun was dunking all over the place and hitting threes and getting in passing lanes. And, just a fantastic night all the way around, man. Fantastic night in LA all the way around for our team. And I don't know where we are in the stats. I think we're probably like a half game behind Dallas or something like that. Maybe a game with this win. We gained some ground, man. We gained some ground. With Golden State losing last night, we gave ourselves a little more distance between ourselves and them, which I think is a pretty big deal if you ask me. And I'm trying to remember who we played next. Sacramento, I'd imagine. Sacramento on Wednesday, maybe. That might be the next game. I'm not certain about that, though. But I know we play Sac on Wednesday, but I'm not sure if there's not a game between now and then, and with Wednesday being a back-to-back or something. I'm not really sure if we play somebody on Tuesday. But we're going to enjoy this one. We're definitely going to enjoy these last 2 victories we've had, man, with the big D-Lo game against the Milwaukee Bucks. Knocked off of number 1 overall seed, hopeful. Sent them back down to number 2. And then the very next night went into Minnesota, sent them back down to either 2 or 3, probably 3 after this. So we're just beating some of the best teams in the league right now. Albeit shorthanded, with Milwaukee missing Middleton and these guys missing Rudy and Carl. But we don't care. We play who's in front of us and we win. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. We don't care. You're going to suit up your best guys and we'll go with them too. But that's what it's about, man. The Lakers putting up a good effort. We just got to take care of the damn basketball. Okay, we're a little inconsistent in that way as a team. Against OKC, we gave up 20 something turnovers, and then came back the next night against Milwaukee and only had 5 turnovers. And tonight we have 20 turnovers. You see what I'm saying? So the inconsistency there, it's glaring, and we need to find some consistency, particularly not turning the damn ball over. Plain and simple. So love what we did there, man. Love what Anthony Davis did. Of course, the game ball's his. That go without saying. The stat line was ridiculous. And I'm just dreading my fantasy situation because of it. I know who I'm going against. I know what he did tonight. And I know the stats will not be friendly to me because of it. So, that's bittersweet for me, but I wouldn't have it any other way at the end of the day because we're trying to win in real life. And these are the type of nights we need from Anthony Davis to not only build his confidence, but to ultimately get us victories. And, I don't think we win the game without him putting up a night like that, which is kind of scary in a way, given the fact that he doesn't always play like this. But we love when he does, and when in big games, our team shows up. We keep proving it to ourselves. If it's a big game with a big number 1 team in the standings, we're going to show up. We're going to play hard, and we saw that tonight. Definitely played hard. physical basketball game. I would have loved for us to get more whistles than we did. I felt like Anthony Davis was fouled more, Braun was fouled more, and given what I saw from that Milwaukee game, the calls that Giannis gets are not the calls we get. I'll tell you that. That much was clear to me, seeing him waltz into the lane, barely get touched, breathe on him, and they call a foul. Braun gets slapped in the head, AD nose get cut up, and I mean, the way he has to be hit in order to get a call, and I mean both of our stars, the way they have to be hit in order for you to whistle, it's embarrassing, man. The NBA should be embarrassed with how they treat our stars as it pertains to the type of contact that needs to take place in order for us to get a damn whistle, man. And tonight was another glaring example of that. Constantly Anthony Davis pulling down offensive rebounds, Nas hitting him, Anthony Edwards hitting him, Luka Garza hitting him, and they barely called the foul after like 3 or 4 swipes. It just gets to a point where it's like, yo, y'all don't treat other stars like you treat our guys. Y'all don't do that. So that's really my point of view, man. I'm just a little frustrated with the officiating overall as it pertains to our stars and the contact that we have to draw in order to get a whistle out there. So yeah, man, shot pretty well, over 40% from the 3. I don't exactly remember what we did from the field, over 55% from the field, I believe it was. We had a really good shooting night. 64 points in the paint to their 44, as if we haven't seen enough 44s as of late. Definitely pleased with that. Just a good overall game. I'd imagine when you look at the stats, you see those turnovers. But this was a good shooting night for us, and we love seeing the shot fall for all of our players. Austin Reeves' 3-point shooting returning is just a heaven sent for us, man. It really is. Some of them shots that he was bricking earlier in the season, I was so pleased to see him get it together over the last couple of games. And if he can continue to stay healthy and get better as the course of the playoffs progress, with him and D'Lo being such a threat from behind the arc, we could be so much more dangerous of a team later on than we are right now. I'm very excited about that. I like some of the rotations I saw, particularly at the end of the first quarter. There was a lineup where we put AD, Braun, Spencer Dinwiddie, Rui Hachimura, and Austin Reeves on the floor. I thought that lineup looked really good to me. The synergy there was fantastic at the end of that first, so I encourage Coach to take a look at that and revisit that lineup again. That was a very good lineup that he put down there, and I don't think I remember seeing it down there too often. So yeah, man, just a few things like that, man. Love what I saw off the bench from Jackson Hayes. He continues to play well. He had a good game in the last one, had a very good one in this one, and a good majority of our bench production came from him. Just being strong, attacking the rim. As I told you guys in the pregame, not the pregame video, but my Laker video earlier in the afternoon, D'Angelo Russell does a great job of finding Jackson Hayes consistently and keeping his confidence up. I think that should be something we should seek out opportunities to make sure that they're playing with one another as often as we can. D'Lo running the offense a bit. I thought he played well with Braun on the floor, but I think he would have been a bit better without him, and I stand by that. There was one jump shot that D'Lo took. It was a mid-range 20-footer straight away that I thought, however the play shook up, he took that shot because Braun was on the floor. I legitimately believe that. If Braun wasn't on the floor, he probably would have worked the play a different way and would have found something that would have been a bit more high percentage. It's just certain stuff. A couple plays where the big play where Braun dunked the ball, got to the rim, and got the and one. D'Lo was underneath the basket with his hands open, looking to receive the pass. I just think that there's a synergy disconnect with him and Braun, and even though they work with one another, there's so many more opportunities for D'Lo to be more high percentage in the offense if he doesn't have to be so self-conscious of LeBron James on the floor wanting certain things to happen. And Braun doesn't have to be so self-conscious of getting D'Lo the ball to assure that D'Lo's in rhythm. In that way, he can just be himself and force things if he wants to. It was a turnaround jump shot that Braun took that with D'Lo at the top of the key that I felt Braun should have got the ball to D'Lo. And I think Bron thought so too when he took that shot and it didn't fall. So on the very next possession, he forced the ball to D'Lo, and D'Lo bricked the shot. It's just little stuff like that, and I'm seeing them like they're better separate most of the time. They are, because they both kind of do the same things, and they both have to be hyper conscious of the fact they need to be feeding one another, and kind of makes the situation awkward when they don't and they make mistakes is what I'm trying to describe. So it's like these are things I was studying tonight based on the conversation that I had with you guys earlier today, and I'm studying it deeply, and I just really think they probably are best not on the floor together. And if you let them run the offense in their own respective lineups, you're probably going to see high efficiency, less turnover situations, better quality possessions. I really believe that. You just ask them to do too much with one another, and they have to almost force that chemistry. And I just don't think it's necessary when you have so many different combinations of players that play well with one another that we don't have to see that ever happen. And so that's why I encourage everybody to go check out that video I made today, that Sunday afternoon Laker chat, because we really talked about some rotations that I think kind of cater to that. And now that we have Spencer Dinwiddie in place, it should be easier to fit some of our rotations in place to allow for that to be the case. They don't need D'Lo to play the point guard. I got Spencer. I can put Spencer next to Bron, sit Bron, bring in D'Lo at the point guard, and then have him with Jackson Hayes. You know what I mean? It's certain stuff, and Anthony Davis can play with both of those lineups. So it's like, in theory, Spencer should stabilize the rotation combination situations. That's what I'm saying to y'all. By making it so that I can separate those two and not worry about what's going on with my point guard position. So that's really what I'm saying to you guys, man. I've been giving a lot of thought to this, especially as we're winding down to the end of the season. I want our team to be on perfect synergy coming into the playoffs, because I think we can take some people off guard. We can catch some people off guard, because a lot of what went wrong throughout the course of the season is us not having any direction in regards to the things that we're talking about right now. And if we have that direction going into the playoffs, I think we'll have more quality possessions. So there's a lot to study, man. I think our team is doing okay, but we do need to overcome certain things, and part of it has to do with getting this under control and then unlocking what we saw from AD against those opponents, Denver and Sacramento specifically. If he can do what he did tonight against those opponents, we will overcome them. We will overcome them. It's that simple. So that's what it's all about, man. Confidence, continuity, and rotation situations that make a lot of sense. Long shot, long rebound, all the stuff that we've been talking about, man. We're getting close to the end of the season, and I think that we're starting to find some synergy in certain areas. So hopefully the return of some of our guys like Vando and Vincent don't derail that, because I do have my concerns about Vincent specifically coming into this lineup and just be throwing everything off. I would much rather him sit out the season, to be honest, just because we're starting to find that synergy. But we can definitely use Vando coming back. I don't know how soon he'll be back, but from what I understand, the word is he will be back at some point within the season before the playoffs. So that's exciting for us. Hopefully he can come back the same player he was before he got hurt, because he looked like he was playing his best ball in that Celtics matchup where Bron and AD was sitting down. That first half, he was super. So yeah, man. That's what I got, man. That's exactly what's on my mind. It's a lot of X's and O's, a lot of rotation stuff. D'Lo's big game against the Bucks really unlocked some things in my mind in regards to, okay, this is what we need to do to get this out of D'Lo more. And that's where my head has been. So hopefully our coaches are thinking the same thing. Hopefully they're following your boy, because I think I got some good ideas at this point. But all in all, man, that's where we're at, man. Good game. Not a great game. We got to cut down them damn turnovers and stop leaving shooters open, man. But kudos to Anthony Davis for the Hall of Fame stat line. It was tremendous, man. Absolutely tremendous. So that's pretty much what I got to say. Down goes the Wolves. BDF 44. I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.